This week on the Spotlight, Luol Deng. You remember that fine basketball player? Playing in the playoffs for the Bulls back in the day. Paul Konerko, pretty excellent White Sox in history. Second only to Frank Thomas in home runs. And then we're going to go to Julio Franco. He was a good middle-of-the-lineup guy in the middle of the 90s. And then we finish up with Rick Wilkins, big left-handed catcher for the Cubs. Check out past shows of mine on Benkowski YouTube. From wherever Chicago sports teams are making news, it's the 31st year of the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. They have tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and more. 108th and Kedzie. Lansing Floral Shop, open 8 a.m. daily. Custom silk flowers, Bridgewater candles, great flowers, 708-474-1212. A great floral shop, Lansing Floral. Get to Renata's Beauty Salon, men, women, and kids. Open 6 days a week, 12558 Southwestern Avenue in beautiful Blue Island.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open.
You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get to the Wise Owl at Van Buren and Racine. Pizzas, pork sliders, Cuban sandwiches, carrot soup, elote, burgers, tacos, salads, and more. Great cocktails and great bartenders. A tremendous array at the Wise Owl, Van Buren and Racine. See you there. You've got to get to Gilhooly's. They're located a block east of Pulaski on 103rd, right on the St. Xavier campus. Friday, April 26th at 8 p.m. I'll see you. Music, movies, TV, sports, other topics. I'll take your requests for the next show. It's fun. They have great service, great food, great drink, and my show. I'll see you Friday, April 26th at 8 p.m.
Pouring over the stats. Heat book. Daily stats. Bulls book. Bulls playoff guide. NBA record book. But despite it all, and even looking at videotape, as some of the players have indicated they're doing, and we should, the single sentence that captures this series is the one on the Bulls locker room wall that says, speed up the game. That's what the Bulls need to do. That's what Miami needs to prevent. If the Heat manage to muck it up and slow it down and keep it in the mud, like Alonzo Mourning and his comrades want to do, then Miami will win the series. If the Bulls keep the pace up, get it into the hundreds, at least for themselves, Scott Skiles and crew will come out on top.
I think just the chemistry of the team, it's been better. We had a team with a lot of new players, including myself. And I think, we really learn games after game how to play together. So I think we're doing a much better job at the end of the season.
How about the way you have felt throughout the NBA year? This is a longer season, 82 games with maybe as many as another 10 to 20 more. How do you feel physically?
I feel pretty good, It's a long season, but I probably played as many minutes that I did in a 30 game season overseas. So I feel pretty good, Just try to stay ready, try to stay in shape for those playoffs. Now is the big time, so I'm gonna try to be ready and play with confidence and all that.
What do you remember about the games against Miami and when you did get into the action? What happened?
I mean, they're a good team. You know, they got a lot of weapons. They got, of course, Shaq and D Wade. But I mean, I remember we beat them by over 30 points, and then last games they beat us by almost 30 points or something like that. So I mean, you know, it's going to be a game now. So
Who have you drawn defensively, and what about that challenge?
I mostly play against them. I mostly play in the what they call a garbage time. So I played against a player like Queen and Wright mostly.
Who would you like to defend against? Let's say if one of your mates got in foul trouble.
I'd like to go against D Wade. Nah, I just, you know, whatever the coach wants, you know, whoever he put me on, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm going to try to do my job, do my best against whoever player it is.
Well, I like that you said that, because if I remember correctly, in a couple of games against the Lakers, you caused Kobe some problems.
Yeah, I believe so. I did pretty good against the Lakers. I'm going to try to do that again tonight if coach put me on D Wade, of course.
And Thabo did play brilliant defense against Wade and was one of the stars, as was Luol Deng with 33 points.
Nah, this game, you know, this game was really big. You know, I think, you know, again, you know, the lead ahead of them. Now we got a second game, but, you know, most of the times, you know, the team that loses has to adjust. And I think we did a lot of stuff today that worked for us, and, you know, we will probably continue with that.
Was there a point in the game, a certain basket, where you said, this is going to be my day? You felt like you were on a roll?
Nah, you know, they just kept playing it with the rhythm. You know, I just kept trying to really take shots in rhythm. You know, I didn't really want to get out of control or anything. You know, we had a nice rhythm going. Our offense was flowing. So, you know, we just kept taking the open shots.
With Kurt going down early with foul trouble, did you guys take a more aggressive approach on the offensive end just to pick up the slack?
Nah, you know, Kurt got in foul trouble, but Thabo came in and did a great job. And I think not just offensively, but I thought defensively he was great. And I think when he came in, he kind of challenged Wade's shots. And, you know, we kind of picked it up from there. And in the second half, he made big shots for us.
Louis, normally you're guarded by guys who are taller than you, but so far, at least most of tonight, you're guarded by guys who are shorter than you. Are you conscious of that, and do you try and take advantage of that?
No, I knew who was guarding me. You know, I think to start the game, you know, most of the time I had weight on me. But I knew as the game went on, it was going to be a lot of mismatches. There's going to be a lot of different guys on me. You know, just like I said, we just really, we didn't really try to fall into that. We just kept playing our game. You know, when I had the small on me, we didn't change what we were doing. We still had the same game plan.
What was different about this game for you versus before you had against them in the regular season?
You know, I think we did a better job of moving the ball. And I think that was really key for us. You know, the last time we played them at their place, and you play a team like Miami, if you don't move the ball, it's really hard to score when you allow them to set on their defense. But moving the ball really got me open.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212.
Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furlan, DDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks,
the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. We're back on the spotlight, and Paul Konerko hit .240 last year. It was an injury-plagued season. He wants to see what he can do when he's feeling healthy.
You know, if it meant going the DL or take a solid week off, or, you know, at that point I'd never been on the DL before, so I was fearful. I didn't want to go on. You know, I kind of wanted to keep that going. So I just kind of kept going with it and kept trying to play with it. But then as it turned out, a month later, I went on the DL for something stupid anyways. So, you know, if I had to do over again, I would have sat out for as long as I needed to get that back to normal. Because when you're playing and you're changing bats and you're changing gloves and you're changing grips and you're doing things that, there was about by my account, there was about a 23, 25 game block where, you know, I had no chance, and that just kind of buries you. You know, it's tough to get out of that hole once you get deep in there, and, you know, you battle, but that's the one thing I kick myself on, is that one I should have probably backed out. And then they got that advice from some people, but, you know, you always think you can go through, and you do in other times, but just didn't work out that time.
Well, what is your focus for this year? I mean, how do you, when you took a step back and looked back at last year, you change your approach? What are you going to do?
You know what? I finished well to where, and that was big, because, you know, there was things early in the year that, you know, especially like in terms of like hitting a fastball and stuff, where I wasn't getting to places I usually get to, and you kind of have that question like, okay, is this because my hand hurts a little bit? Is this what's the story here, or is it just that time when you stop hitting those pitches like you used to? But, you know, the last month, I was getting to those pitches again, so that was a good way to end. I mean, all in all, I know it wasn't, you know, what you want, but towards the end there, when you're facing good teams, good pitching, in crunch time, and in those situations, I felt like myself, and I felt like I was productive. And I think the numbers show that in the last, I think, definitely the last month and over the last 2 months. You know, so all in all, I mean, you look at the at-bats and all that. I mean, when I look at my season from last year, it's almost, I say almost because I don't want to by any means say that it was a good season, but if you look at the at-bats I had and the ratios of home runs and RBIs and all that stuff, if you hack on another 120, 50 at-bats, which is where I normally am from not missing 30 games, it's dangerously close to what I usually do anyways. It still wouldn't be one of my best, but it's not, you know, you tack on 10, 12, 15 hits, which isn't a big deal, and, you know, you hit 270 instead of 240 with those amount of at-bats I had, so that's a big deal. So I don't kick myself. I know the times when I stunk, you know, and I know when to keep myself honest, you know, when it comes to that stuff, and I know sometimes when you go, you know, listen, you're out there battling, and, you know, I'm just as proud of that as I am when I was out there doing well. But, you know, the fact that I finished well and I was, you know, hitting good fastballs and doing what I do, that was big. If I hadn't seen that before the end of the year, there'd be more of an unknown going into the off season. But, you know, I feel that it's just like getting ready for another year now.
Well, with all the drama.
How crazy is 2 kids after just having the 1? How crazy is the house now?
Yeah, there's a little more juggling going on. I mean, a little more, you know, mom's with the younger one, more, so I have to, you know, try to hold down the other one while he's running wild. So definitely a little more challenging, but, you know, it's you learn to adjust. I mean, we always say, like, I'm sure most parents, that how could you ever think that 1 was tough, you know, because now you have 2, and it's you know, it seems like it's the toughest thing in the world, but you just adjust and you go. Luckily, the new baby he's a very good baby, because our hands are full with the other one right now.
With all the drama of the last week of the season and making the playoffs the way you did, will this be kind of like a tough act to follow for the White Sox?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, you go into each year, you know, whether you finish in last place last year or you finish in first or you won the World Series, it kind of all resets to 0. And I don't think, you know, let's say we were to win the division this year by 8 games or something like that, and it was just kind of ho-hum. That doesn't maybe have the excitement of a one-game playoff and all that kind of stuff that went down at the end. But nonetheless, that's a division championship, and it's separate from the year before. I mean, I think the goal is always to get to the playoffs, and then once you get there, see if you can get hot for 3 weeks and make something happen there. But the number one goal is make the playoffs first, and that's it. I mean, that's your number one goal when we get to spring training. That's 7.5 months till the end of the season. That's your goal is you make the playoffs, and then you don't think about. At least I don't. I don't sit there and say let's win the World Series in spring training. Your goal is to beat your division, get to the playoffs, and then regroup and then try to win that World Series.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and a fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski.
You've got to get to the Sock Live Bidkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's. We are back in the spotlight. Of course, we're at Comiskey Park, and we're talking with Julio Franco, who has taken under his wing some of the new of the White Sox who have come in, and you, of course, they look to you. You've been around the league. They ask you questions. Tell us about some of the things you tell the young guys coming up.
Well, first of all, that I told them is that if they reconcile their life with Jesus, my personal Savior, and from there, I see them working their work habits, being on time, work hard, and overall be disciplined.
You know, as I told Paco Martin, in this day and age where ball players of all sports are having some problems in their personal lives, it seems like you have found great inner peace, and it's helping you in many facets of your life.
Well, yes. Early in my career, I wasn't lucky enough to meet Jesus as my own personal Savior. Now I do, and I encourage all the young ball players for them to be happy, as there's only one way, is to have Jesus in the center of your life.
Now, when you came to the White Sox, certainly you knew that you would be in the heart of the order. But how are things going compared to what you imagined?
Well, things are going great. They're going fantastic because we play in the game the way we're supposed to play the game. We got a real good relationship in the dugout, in the clubhouse, on the field, off the field. It's a great team to be on, and we take our business very seriously.
You guys are putting up tremendous numbers. Frank is on a pace to possibly break Babe Ruth's runs scored record. You're putting up RBIs that could put you 160, something like that. What do you think about those unbelievable numbers?
Well, I don't think about that because I just take it one day at a time, one time at a bat at a time, one swing at a time. Because a lot of people are thinking about tomorrow, but I'm always thinking about today and waiting for the second coming of Jesus. So I'm not worried about the future. I just wanted, I'm just happy to be alive and to be here today.
Does anything surprise you about this team? I mean, you knew that they look good on paper, but now that you're around these guys, what have you learned about the 94 White Sox?
Well, the 94 White Sox is a team that, first of all, they go serious about their business. We come here, we stretch together, We take ground ball together. We hit together. We do everything together as a team. We do everything that is as possible to win some games. And it's not only the great in hitting and defense. We are a good team because we like to win, and the winning attitude and enthusiasm is there to win ball games.
You are so remarkable and free in talking about your faith. Other things that come out today are people talking about no religion in the schools, no religion here, no religion there. What do Gene Lamont and Ron Schuler say about your outspokenness about the Lord?
Well, first of all, I'm not a religious man. I'm a Christian. I follow the Christ, and there's no man on earth that is going to change my attitude. There's no man on earth that's going to change my faith or my belief in the Lord. And I think that by following the Christ, I bring to this ball club a lot of peace and happiness, and all my fellow Christians in the ball club. So I think that they're happy that we've been here, and we all go to chapel together, and it's been great so far.
Compare this experience with the other clubs you played on, and why you think this White Sox attitude and clubhouse is better.
Well, only because we stay together. In this ball club, see little groups, like a little group here, a little group there. We do everything together. We go out to dinner. We talk on the plane. We laugh. We cry together. We go to goods and downs, up and down. So that's the team that is together. I mean, sometimes you're going to lose ball game, you're going to win ball game because we're only human, we're going to make mistakes. And sometimes you got to tip your hat to the pitcher, but the next day we come with the same attitude.
To wrap up, which of the starting pitchers gives you a special kick? Probably a younger guy, when you see him go out there and coming into his own, becoming a star in the American League.
Well, anybody that's in the big leagues got talent to become a good pitcher or to become a great pitcher. The longest, like I told you before, they got to work hard and they got to be in peace with themselves. And by that I means the Lord give you talent to play this game or you won't be here. So take advantage of it.
Julio Franco, you can see him at Comiskey Park, or he might be appearing at your church. I think I'm going to ask him to mine. Thanks very much. You're very inspiring. We'll have more of the spotlight right after these messages.
You've got to get to my newest show, X's and O's, live trivia alternate Fridays at 6 p.m., 7800 West 79th Street. Music, movies, TV, sports, great food, and great drink. See you there. Lenny Q's Barbecue, trivia alternate Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Daily specials, catering too. It's at the Lansing Municipal Airport, 3249 Airport Drive. I'll see you over there. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Trivia will be at the Sock. Alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great food, great drink, great people. Everything great. You've got to get to Renata's Beauty Salon. They cut hair for men, women, and kids, and I'm among them. Open 6 days a week. Walk-ins welcome. Easy to reach at 125th and Western Avenue. Maybe I'll see you there. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place.
We're back in the spotlight at Wrigley Field, and now that we've discussed heavy-duty outfield action, we're going to talk more about catching. I always like to, I think of catchers as football-playing kind of guys. That's why I always bring that stuff up. But I guess when I mention linebacker to you, that's ancient history to you, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's ancient history. It seems like just yesterday when I put the pads down. But, that was a part of my life. As a freshman I played, and that was the last time I put on a football helmet. It seems like just yesterday that I put it down, but I still like to try and relive any moment I can from football out here on the baseball field, so I get my licks in when I can.
How about the signal calling aspect? I mean, you're the field general as a catcher. I guess it'd be more like a quarterback, but did you call any signals as a linebacker?
Yeah, we called quite a few. It's amazing the depth that we got into just at the collegiate level that I was on, as far as studying film and learning offenses and different sets and plays and formations, and so there was constant communication going on. It was a linebacker's responsibility to know those sets better than anybody else on the field, and that was part of my job out there. And just it was a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun making the adjustment and making that play happen, and the physical aspect of it, though, was I really enjoyed as much as anything, and that's why I like the contact out here still.
Well, over the years, I imagine if it hasn't been done, there's a highlight tape being compiled of great home plate collisions. Personally, I can remember one that was a really outrageous one, Randy Hundley and Willie Mays. Wow. Right there, and both guys were out of the lineup for like a long time after they knocked the crap out of each other. Can you remember a favorite collision of yours? Presuming that you won it, of course.
Well, I've had quite a few. I had 3 run-ins with Chris Sabo in the same afternoon. 3 plays at home plate, all with Chris Sabo, and I didn't get him out one time.
Oh. What year was that?
It was my rookie year in '91 is when it happened, and really I never really had a good play. The ball was never there, and the ball never beat him to home plate. There were situations where I tried to make a play happen, and if he would have slid, maybe I could have bumped him off home plate and caught the ball, but he stayed up, and we ran into each other 3 times, and he had some sore ribs, and my left shoulder was a little sore the next afternoon, but that is my most memorable day of collisions by far.
As a softball player, the briefest, closest analogy I can make, as a first baseman, I'd sneak down and cover home for the pitcher from time to time, where you only had 7 guys on a team. And this might be a thrill if you can relate to it. You block home plate when the ball's not there, and the collision keeps the guy from getting in, and then you kind of get the ball as an aftershot. Can you think of any situations like that?
Well, the one I just told you about, Chris Sabo, that's what I was trying to do with those 3 situations with Chris Sabo, and didn't make it happen any of those times, but I have made it happen a few times. Spike Owen was with the Montreal Expos a couple years ago. There was a play at home plate, and the ball was the ball was in the air. It was a high throw. It wasn't gonna hit the ground. It was kind of above him, and I kind of reached around him and hit him. And as he hit me, I was catching the ball, and I caught him and tagged him. So I did make that play happen with Spike Owen. So that was one time I do remember doing that. It was neat. It was a great feeling to know that I actually took a run away from him like that.
Are there any guys in the league that have the reputation of you got to watch yourself around home plate because they might take a shot? It might be a knee, it might be an elbow. Something like that could happen even if the play isn't that close.
Players trying to score,
players giving you a little stab as they go by.
No, if there's.
You've got to get to Moods Bar and Grill, exit 19 off Interstate 94, Portage, Indiana. I do live trivia there every other Wednesday. They have great food and drink, a very fun vibe. Located in the Portage Mall, in the middle of town. You got to check out Moods. Take a little road trip to the Bar and Grill. It's only 19 minutes into Indiana. Live trivia. I'll see you there. This week's show has been brought to you by the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Shop. They do it all at 108th and Kedzie.
Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound, saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.